More accumulation will occur daily as long as we continue to experience higher lows and higher highs. Plan B just had its first red dot, didn't we? The red dots represent the parabolic movement time. As a result, I anticipate a really remarkable next 12 months. ETFs that invest in Bitcoin on the West spot market have done very well so far this week. Inflows of more than $88 million were recorded on Tuesday, the second highest day total since their inception in January. Monday and Tuesday saw large inflows, while Wednesday saw even more, for a total of $448.81 million. Also, as of Wednesday, inflows have now occurred for 17 straight trading days, matching a record set in February. The 11 funds received $27.78 million in total on Thursday, breaking the record for the longest streak of net inflows, 18 days. With record-breaking $350 million in net inflows, BlackRock's iShares Bitcoin Trust once again demonstrated its dominance among the standout performers. VanEck's HTL ETF and Fidelity's FBTC were also successful. The 5-spot Bitcoin ETFs BTC included did not receive any new capital, whilst the ARKB and GBTC funds from ARK Invest and Grayscale, respectively, lost $96.6 million and $37.5 million in net terms. 11 Bitcoin exchange-traded funds ETFs based in the United States have had a combined net inflow of $15.556 billion in the past 5 months. These spot Bitcoin ETFs are crucial, and Mark Yusko, founder of Morgan Creek Capital, recently spoke with Gary Cardone about how they affect Bitcoin prices. According to Yusko, the next 12 months are going to be absolutely thrilling because of the stampede of institutional investors purchasing Bitcoin through these exchange-traded funds. I thought it was done when BlackRock turned in their application on June 15th of last year. It is taking place. An approval will be granted. I even mentioned a date, didn't I? I was off by 2 days when I said it would be January 8th. In such case, you can sue me. However, I did state that this would occur. Also, what gave me the impression that I was quite certain? Those who are opposed to the development of a blockchain-based financial system, including BlackRock, have been asking what the fuck since the investment firm announced its intention to participate. The rent is enough for them, therefore they truly don't want that. Looking to collect rent that they already have. They mentioned that we're in the rent phase, nevertheless. Why was that important now? Because by the time January came around, there were about $30 trillion worth of boomer assets, mostly held by financial advisors, that had to be unloaded once the letter went out saying they were to stop using 0%. $30 billion. Very well. The value of Bitcoin would be affected by $30 billion. 1%, however, is $300 billion, not an absurdly large amount at all. In Bitcoin's first 15 years, $300 billion was more money than ever before, more fiat, more money than ever been converted into Bitcoin before. $1 trillion is the consensus, though. $1 trillion has not been invested. Bitcoin has only been converted into a couple hundred billion. The other factors are the dispersion of bids and asks, appreciation, network size, and the growth of Metcalfe's law. There would be significant movement if $300 billion were to be invested in an asset that has not yet received $300 billion. Institutional investing has been my entire life, but I get your point regarding which ones were going to join in as well. 2 large allocators were my employers. These businesses pay me to dole out cash. When Stan Druckenmiller was at Soros after he left, running Duquesne and Howard Marks, I had money with him. I mean, all the guys that everyone is talking about now, Druckenmiller included. When Howard broke out from Trust Company of the West, I was among the initial investors along with my husband. This fact was publicized in the news. All I am is old. I have a lot of these individuals. I have been around for a long time. Since we're talking billions here, not thousands or millions, I can tell you 3 things about their financial situation. First, how far ahead of the curve they are, and second, what kind of liquidity they'll need to put that cash to use. Now we're talking about actual money coming in thanks to this platform and BlackRock. In particular, when Coinbase becomes widely used and extremely stable, all of these things begin to transpire. The one that has gone unmentioned is the requirement to have an AP or approved participant, which was inserted as a little rule at the very end. Unfortunately, I don't remember the exact meaning of AP, but it generally means that in order to be an issuer, you need to have a genuine backing. Yes, JP Morgan agreed to do it. Like, your CEO did not deny that this was a Ponzi scheme, did he? Who are you to offer assistance with matters of custody and transactions then? It was going to be fund after money. After fund once it was all sorted up. At this very moment, I believe we have had, as of the last time I checked, $50 billion. The amount of money that came in was $60 billion. Into exchange-traded funds, with GBTC seeing outflows of over $10 billion. Thus, it was approximately 50%. Thus, AM had risen to 50 billion. To be fair, my estimate for the first year was much higher than 50 billion. Very well, we apologize for the slight delay. I have 120 billion by now, and I figured we'd be at 150. Therefore, we are running little behind time. I thought it had already transpired. Because those 13 FS are 45 days old. Accordingly, a deluge more has arrived throughout the past 45 days. We will continue to accumulate more and more as long as we keep making higher lows and higher highs. Plus, we just saw the initial red dot on Plan B, didn't we? The red dots represent the parabolic movement time. Therefore, I am of the belief that the next 12 months will be absolutely remarkable. A shock to the supply occurred. Consequently, I rounded down to 50, as the fair value was in the low 50s. The fair value is doubled when a fraction is cut in half. Also, why was it a Y? The miners would cease operations if the price did not rise, for example, due to the abundance of supplies. With the introduction of ordinals, runes, and the hefty transaction costs, things have changed slightly. For the sake of argument, let's pretend it's 80 instead of double this time. Sure, that's a reasonable. The Metcalfe's law model put the fair value at around 80. According to Tim Peterson, power consumption is directly proportional to the hash rate, which according to Charles Edwards' model, is 80. It's intriguing I have this policy. It sticks in my mind after only one hearing. I jot it down if I hear it twice. After the third occurrence, I take action. Consider instead the case where we have three separate hypotheses. The fair value would be 80K according to all of them. Therefore, at 66, we are still trading below our fair value. Achieving fair value is our objective. After that, what will happen? Well, then the fear of missing out FOMO will set in because people will see I've said it before that. This Thanksgiving will be the finest Thanksgiving ever. I suppose the previous one was decent as well, but after those terrible ones, this one is likely to blow everyone away. For the simple reason that you are that crypto guy who is kind of welcome, but not really. Everyone is going to adore us because the price will likely reach six figures, depending on when folks followed your advice or didn't. No one will be able to stop talking about it. You'll see it all over. It will be owned by every institution. Eventually, even Vanguard will have caved, along with every other financial advisor. What follows is the last parabolic move all the way into April of next year, when we'll see if we hit 50 or 1. I am not really concerned. Everyone is important to me, though. The best savings technology is here, and I mean it when I say that everyone everywhere, not just Americans, but people all over the world should get a wallet, learn how to own some, and sign up for an account with an exchange. We've invested in a number of exchanges in various parts of the world, including Latin America, Eastern Europe, Asia, and the Coinbase equivalent. And that is all. Yes, humanity. The question of when should you say Bitcoin also arises. So when is the best time to cash in your savings? A large sum of money needed to buy a home, send a child to college, launch a business, or lend money to someone. Nobody asked me that.